Hello, my name is Fenna. Welcome to the Self-Compassion channel. I am a certified coach and I work with people in a Liberate episode. Now, I've talked about patterns in my videos and I've talked about mismatches with the person you like. I generally don't talk about the limerent object, meaning the other person, that much because in most cases they're not relevant, meaning that the limerence is about you and your needs. It's not so much about them. But today I want to have a closer look at the other, not to analyze them at all, but to see in what category they are, because if you want to get rid of the limerence, you will need a different approach with the two types of limerent objects. And I'm going to explain you why. I talk to people who are limerent for someone who does not lead them on in any way. Think about a nice coworker or somebody that you didn't tell, or you're hiding your infatuation, or you're hiding your feelings from them. But in most cases, there are vague boundaries. I've seen, for example, therapists or physiotherapists who continue to work with the limerent even after they disclosed, because they feel sorry for the limerent and they feel sorry to end the interaction, and they think that with clear boundaries they can continue to work together. And then after a while the boundaries get fake, because that's what limerence does. And it leaves both parties frustrated, because the limerent will always want more, and people get hurt in this kind of interaction. I've also seen quite a few situations where the limerent object, the other person, is engaging in the interaction. There is interaction, there is flirting, the other person is in on some form of romance, but sometimes they don't want to give a label to the interaction, or they don't want to give clarity, or they are in a position where they cannot meet the needs of the infatuated other, or even they can be limerents themselves. And even though they know that this situation is not going anywhere, as in a happy, healthy, secure relationship, they still have a hard time leaving the other alone. But it's not bad intended. Today, again, I want to have a look at the roughly two different types, the two categories, the good allos and the bad allos. So, what and whom are good allos? Well, first of all, in the category good allos are the uninterested ones. They don't care about you and your infatuation, or they are very clear in their actions or verbally that they are not interested, and they do not show you interested behavior. When you are limerent for someone who doesn't know that you exist, this happens in parasocial relationships. That's also, I call them also the uninterested ones. And to be honest, if you are dealing with the other person like this, you know, hooray for you, because they will not protest or make the no contact very difficult for you. They will not try to stop you. Good allos are also people that you know, like somebody who is your friend or your coworker or your therapist. I mean, you have some level of contact, and what can be painful here is that when you decide to cut them out of your life, you experience secondary loss. And with secondary loss, I mean, you not only grieve the losing the other, but also the interaction that you had with them, maybe the friendship or the support on the work floor, or maybe they were really good therapists. So secondary loss, meaning the thing you lost also besides just the other person. And here things can get a little bit messy. Like I've said before, I've seen people staying in contact after the disclosing, trying to work this out, which is impossible because our limbic system in our brain will want more from the interaction. It can leave two people really frustrated but also really uncomfortable. The limerent always will want more. The other person doesn't want or cannot give that, and the other person can get really, really uncomfortable by the weird dynamic. So what can you do here? Well, you can ask the other person for help or be really open and vulnerable. Tell them, hey, I noticed that this has more meaning for me than it probably has for you. I want to get out of this, and I hope you will respect that, or that's the reason why I am stopping our therapy sessions, or that I'm going to take distance from our friendship. Being open, clear, and vulnerable. Explain them that you need to limit the interaction as much as possible to get out of the limerence, because no contact breaks the cycle of the reward system your brain is depending on. Other good LOs are the engaging LOs. And what I mean by that, people who like you too, but for some reason cannot be with you. They are already in a relationship, or they are afraid, or the more avoidant people, more avoidant attached. They're not sure, or they're mutual limerent, but they cannot be together, maybe because of the work or whatever circumstances. And this is really difficult because you cannot really blame the other for having feelings, of course. They don't manipulate you, and they don't hurt you on purpose. Not everybody that you get hurt by, has narcissistic tendencies. They also might really like you, and when they have attachment wounds, this will make them the perfect partner to play out some weird push and pull dynamic that I see in a lot of relationships, in limerent relationships. So again, the other person doesn't hurt you with bad intentions, but the push and pull dynamic is really unhealthy, because here you have two people who are trying to get their wounded needs met through each other. What you can do here is ask clarity if things are vague. Hey, what do you want with us? Do you want to be with me? Do you actually want to leave your current relationship? Or do you actually want to move cross country to be with me? Or do you actually want to quit your job so you can be with me? What do you want? And also have a look at, what do you want? Do you actually want to be with this person? Do you want to move? Do you want them to quit their job to be with you? Be also honest about that. Are you a fit with this other person? So think about what you want and see if the other can meet your needs in this. And if they cannot, that doesn't make them a bad person. It's just not your person. And we walk away. Hopefully we endure the pain until it gets better. So those were the good LOs. Then we have the second group, the bad LOs. The selfish, scamming, narcissistic, or antisocial ones. I said it before, I watch a lot of catfish programs for research because there's very useful, a lot of useful information, because there is always limerence involved. The people being infatuated with the other are distorting their reality to a point where it's so naive, and you think, how can you not see this? But what I also state quite often is that addiction doesn't happen overnight. It slowly trains your brain, and by the time that you think, I might be addicted to this person and the interaction with this person, it's too late. I was listening to a podcast last week. It's called When Dating Hurts. I will put the link below. And it's not so much about limerence, it's more about victims of abusive relationship. And somebody invented the word hopium. He actually made up this word. It's so brilliant because it describes so very well the hope that keeps us hooked and keeps us addicted, that one day things will be great, or will be great again, like they were maybe in the beginning of your interaction. We limerence have a lot of hopium. We live on it, we feed from it, sometimes for years, and it plays such a crucial role in a limerent episode. Especially when you're dealing with a scamming or more narcissistic or even abusive other. People who get their claws in you for something they want to get out of the interaction. Sometimes that's money, sometimes that's validation, sometimes they want you for their ego, but they actually don't want to be with you. And they also don't have the respect to let you go, because they gain something from this. Even if you tell them, this is hurting me, I'm confused, I'm suffering, I don't understand this, they will lie or wiggle their way out of this. So they will pull you back intentionally and consciously. There is a plan behind it. It can be done with love bombing or laying a guilt trip, gain pity, the traumatized other needs you. Can be done in, of course, a variety of ways. And here you will probably need to make a plan. And we call it an exit plan or a getaway plan. Just saying goodbye and walking away will probably not work, because they will lure you back in. And being in a Liberate episode, it will be very hard to resist that. So you need a plan, and you do need help from others. Make this plan with somebody else. Who do you trust? Like a friend or a family member or your coach or your therapist. Make a plan in steps. What's step 1? What's step 2? What's step 3 in your exit plan? And lean on the help of others. Leaving somebody is hard enough especially when you are in a Liberate episode, because you know that your nerve system will freak the fuck out after a few days or a few hours even. And when somebody will actively seek you and soothe you, it will be very difficult to resist that. It's like having a bottle of wine following you around, telling you, how healthy it is when you are trying to quit drinking. So please use the support system if you have one. And if you don't want to do that, there are also a lot of support programs online for people in an abusive or bad dating or relationship. I am very curious in what category your person fits. Do you have a plan how to end if you want to go no contact, and all limerence after a while want to go no contact, do you have a plan? Do you want to disclose, or do you want to ask their help, or do you want to say nothing and make your own exit plan? How do you do the going no contact, or how did you do the no contact? If you want my help for one-on-one coaching, for guiding you through this, please send a message to my email address. My editor will squeeze it in. Thank you, Arnoud. And as a last thing, I have a quote of the day. Ignoring red flags is a red flag. If you have anything to say about this channel or this subject, please leave a comment. And for now, I want to thank you for watching my videos, and I hope to see you in another one. Bye!